I'm Caroline Dade. Breaking as we come on the air tonight, a Dane County judge ruled Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s name will stay on the ballot in Wisconsin.
Winnebago is the most likely county to flip blue if it were to happen, because back in 2022, Tim Michels, again the Republican running for governor, only won Winnebago County by 1 percentage point. So this is somewhere where Kamala Harris wants this number to be a lot closer than it is right now.
We're breaking into programming as police are holding a news conference about yesterday's shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison that left 3 people dead, including the shooter. We're about to hear from Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes. Here he is. Police clarified information that they shared with us yesterday. Last night, Police Chief Sean Barnes said that very first 911 call at 10:57 yesterday morning came from a second grade student. Police Chief Sean Barnes now says that is not true. He says it was a second grade teacher who made that first call, not a second grade student.
We know that kids are still inside. On a normal day, classes here would end at 3:25. Right now, it's after 4:15 Central Time. Students are still inside the middle school and the high school. Right here at this reunification site, we're at the bus depot here in Mount Horeb. A lot of parents here waiting for answers. I'm actually going to bring in right now Sylvia. Sylvia, you have a high school student. When we talked to you, said they're still locked down inside their building. How are you feeling right now?
Tonight, the Sugar Bowl will not be played as scheduled. The game has been postponed to tomorrow night because of the attack. Almost every single team in the MLB is playing today, but the Brewers aren't. This is why. Let's take a live look right now at New York City, courtesy of EarthCam. The Brewers were supposed to be playing right now at Citi Field against the Mets, but because of this rain, that game is now pushed back. Sports director Carly Murata is here with me now. And Carly, there's no set timetable yet for when Love might return. Some fans I talked to say they're hopeful it could be as soon as next week. But with him out today, the Packers turn to backup quarterback Malik Willis. And Carly, he was solid today.
He was.
How are you feeling about how cold it's going to be over the next few days?
Elsa, this is your season.
Here's the deal. I love winter. I love winter. You know this. But I want snow. If it's just this cold and there's no snow, it's a waste.
I've never seen a tornado like it in Wisconsin, ever, to do that kind of damage.
Terry Kelly and the other meteorologists at WKOW knew southern Wisconsin could see some bad weather that Thursday night and early Friday morning.
But certainly nobody could predict something as bad as the F5 tornado that hit Barnabas.
He says its estimated winds topped 300 miles per hour, knocking down homes and businesses, flattening 90% of town.
Every public facility and private facility in this community is gone. Post office, fire station, all the utilities, everything is gone here.
The National Weather Service reports the storm caused more than $40 million in damage. That's equivalent to more than $121 million today. Even 40 years later, that night is seared into the minds of the people who were there, like Teresa Roach.
It's fresh in my head. I had a stroke last October, and I can still remember June 8th, 1984.
Marianne Myers remembers the bay windows in her bedroom shaking in the strong wind just before 1 a.m.
When I got through the bathroom that joined the other side of this duplex, that was my mother-in-law's home, it was gone. It had blown away already in that short time.
Those two, and anyone else who was in Barneveld for the storm, will tell you there was no warning. Kelly says a tornado watch had been in place for a few hours, but when the funnel cloud touched down, there wasn't any time left.
And by the time it hit the ground, literally right outside of Barneveld, there were only less than a minute where people could have been warned. Well, I think would have been nearly impossible.
He and WKOW's chief photographer were the first 2 members of the press to get to Barneveld. The damage was immense. Trees stripped of bark, the water tower, one of the only things left standing. But he says something became clear very quickly.
A determination even then that they were going to rebuild, no matter what. I mean, that came from the very first moment in town. We're going to fix this.
We're not giving up, we're going on.
That motto stuck. Mike Peterson was a teenager when the storm hit. Now he's a past village president working to keep the memory of the storm's devastation alive, even after the town rebuilt.
But there's still some really hard scars, and it's very emotional. And it's part of our past, and it's part of the history of Barneveld, who it is. And we're never going to forget that.
That's why Peterson, Myers, and current village president John Forbes are part of the effort to revitalize Memorial Park. right in the middle of town, a place honoring and remembering the people who died when the tornado hit without warning. Plans call for a new playground, a splash pad, and a multi-use sports court. Peterson says at the heart of it all will be a plaque commemorating the darkest night in Barneveld's history.
When people come through town, whether they're just coming through on the bike trail, whether they're residents, whether they just moved to the community, that they will see that and know why that park is there.
Because while that night took away so much of the physical representation of Barneveld, it didn't dent the town's resolve.
Somehow we got through it with the good Lord above. And we're here today, so we count our blessings.
I was able to have so many conversations with people who remember that night about what their experiences were like and what they've seen in Barneveld in the 4 decades since. Now, there's a lot we weren't able to fit in this story, but you can watch those interview excerpts right now on our website, WKOW.com.